Anyone who has ever heard about Monkey Mia will probably tell you that it's famous for its wild dolphin visits. Since the 1960s, dolphins have been attracted to the area by the fishing industry. The dolphins quickly worked out that they could easily capture fish escaping from the fishing nets. This soon led to people visiting the region just to see the dolphins, and once upon a time you could buy a bucket of fish and feed them yourself. These days the dolphins are still fed, but a more conservative practice is in place.
Hold it by the tail, place it in the water, and let it go and she'll perfect. Oh, she's going to play with that fish and show you all. Well done. Look at the tongue. Such a show off.
Only select dolphins are fed daily, and only a small portion of their daily requirements are provided. The belief is that this will ensure the wild dolphins don't become reliant upon human interaction.
Guys are sisters, and they do like to fight for attention, as you can see.
While there is some activism against this in the belief that this managed approach is still too much interaction, the Monkey Mia Dolphin Resort hosts research teams from around the world, such as from the University of Zurich, to study these beautiful creatures in their natural habitat.
So they brought in the rules that we would only interact with them between 7:45 and midday, and we would only do 3 experiences.
It's interesting to look at the visit numbers, which are written up on a whiteboard. This shows how many dolphins visit each of the 3 daily feeds and at what time they come, as it can vary greatly. We were really lucky, as there was the greatest number of dolphin visitors on the day we were there. One of the dolphins which came in for a feed was an expectant mother whose calf is due early 2024. Today's video is brought to you by us, introducing our new Etsy store, Subject Designs. With a huge range of paddleboard and van life giftware, we have everything from phone cases, mugs, journals, clothing and much more. You'll find the perfect gift for your paddleboarding bestie or something to treat yourself. If you'd love to support our indie channel, pop over to Subject Designs Etsy shop, the link is in the description. Now, back to the show. Now that the excitement of seeing the dolphins is over, let's have a look around the resort. There are a range of accommodation options, from self-contained villas overlooking the water to backpacker accommodation, and you can also bring your own tent, camper or caravan and camp. There are 2 options for food and drink. The Monkey Bar is more takeaway style food, and the Bow Shed restaurant for all other meals. The resort also has 2 pools with plenty of shade, and if you haven't bought your own watercraft, they have paddleboards and kayaks for hire. We were really surprised at just how many dolphins were about for most of the day. As these guys are wild and obviously not contained, it was so cool to be sitting, having a coffee, and look up and see them out and about in the water. There are a lot of rules around just how close you can get to the dolphins, and like all wild animals are best just left to do their own thing. We're here in Monkey Mia in Western Australia, which is famous for a place you can come and visit wild dolphins. So one of the few areas in the world that you can actually feed wild dolphins. It's actually illegal for the most part. It's a really cool place to come just for wildlife in general, but there's a nice wee resort here. You can stay in your tent, caravans, little cabins and whatnot. There's a couple of restaurants and bars and things, and there's kayak and paddleboard hire as well if you don't bring your own. Pretty windy, I'm not going to lie to you, it's probably the one thing that stops you from getting in the water. It's in the Shark Bay area, which doesn't sound like a good name for a place to go paddleboarding. It's worth having a go getting in. It's just such a beautiful spot. Water's a bit cold, just coming out of winter. Down the beach from us here, there's an area where the dolphins come in. You obviously can't paddle there, or maybe not so obviously. You're not meant to swim or paddle or go into the water in that particular area. It's only a very small area right near the jetty. From there on up, there's little markers that you can come into the water. You can swim, you can snorkel, and I think there's a couple of people with tinnies and little jet skis and things like that. So fishing, all those sorts of things. So it's pretty multi-purpose. Definitely a good spot to stop in on the way north or south if you're doing a trip up the coast. Wow. Oh, I think that needs clap. While you're here, check out some of these other videos. I'll see you next time.